Yeah, hello. Welcome to my channel. Well, guys, you have heard what is happening in China. The way Chinese are treating the blacks, the way Chinese find it very, very convenient to beat blacks, to throw away black things on the street. That makes you ask yourself, what are the black leaders doing? We have find some of the black leaders in various African countries. Trying one way or the other to to tone down the whole situation. But is Chinese turning down the situation? Our boys daily are being thrown out in the streets. They got exposed to coronavirus. To God be the great that most of them have not been affected. So we thank God for that. But what they do is that they expose these boys to coronavirus so that we die. And some of them are forcefully took to the hospital. Their blood being withdrawn, taken, and they try to do whatever they want. These people are defenseless. We have seen some of the Nigerian citizens being protected by their own embassy. We ask, where are the other African nations protecting their citizens? But the real thing now is that what is happening is turning things against Chinese, immigrants in Africa. We have found out that what they are doing in Africa now have to be taken so serious, because we find out a lot of Chinese in Africa, they stole a lot of things. They bring up fake currency. They stole their mines. They stole a lot of. They take they take what they call it, elephants, tones and all things like that. A lot of things China takes in Africa now. So these days, China may think that they are doing this to show their racism to Africa, but forgetting that they will have millions of Chinese in Africa. So today, what the Chinese is doing in China will be affecting their brothers in Africa, in various places in Africa. Even when the government keep quiet, like the previous video said, the African jungle justice still, applicable. Look at what they are doing to the Nigerian or African, citizen, beating him on the street, all the whole market, joining hand to beat this guy. Remember, now we are not talking about crime. Chinese commit so many crime in Africa, which sometimes Africa just deport them or just, collect bribe. But this time around, I think people will rise up to go for jungle justice because people have had enough. We're calling on Chinese people to stop. If you're learning Chinese, pardon me, if you're good Chinese, you have to stop your leader from doing this to Africans. Because what happened, I know China is a very heartless country. They don't care what happened to their brothers. But in the meanwhile, they will still be doing that to them, If you guys keep doing that to Africans, your people back in Africa will face the consequence. The companies you guys have that build bridge, God, the companies you guys have that build bridge, that build, that make some of those small petty inferior things, that's cheap and substandard things in Africa will be destroyed. Those of your brothers that will migrate from one African country to the next African country with stolen passports, they will be arrested, they will be beaten. I know this very well that about 50 Chinese will apply for or 100
nationals were on Friday charged with possession of suspected stolen items at Buganda Road Court. This follows an ongoing police probe that unveiled the racket after concerns by some neighbors. The raid showed motherboards of used phones and laptops reportedly stolen in Uganda, then repackaged and exported to China.
And these motherboards for the phones we suspect were snatched from Ugandans.
There were also wildlife exhibits like tortoises, pangolin scales and fish maw also recovered from this house. This is not a phone processing plant, but a makeshift control room with over 2,000 phones, each connected with a Ugandan SIM card in the names of certain individuals. Several Airtel and MTN new lines are visible. So far, police investigations show that these are used for financial crime, especially on the WeChat social media.
It's used for messaging and financial transactions. Now, the preliminary investigations we've had indicated that there were so many financial transactions done on that WeChat. And basically, the target compromise our financial institutions and even the security generally. There is also something we have also noticed, that all these telephones which are armed are bearing the Ugandan telephone lines of Airtel majorly, with over 1,895 SIM cards, and also MTN of around 223.
Because in this room we have boxes and boxes of cigarettes, and if I can read here, it's set walls. And according to police, they're investigating how these boxes of cigarettes got into the country, and still they're yet to find out if it's actually one of the types that is allowed to enter the country. According to police, some of these suspects were also transacting business without work permits, as many entered the country using visitor's visa.
200 will apply for visiting visa to Nigeria. Then maybe at the end of the day, the embassy will give maybe 50 the visa. So after they give the 50 the visa, the other ones will take visa to Ghana, or some take visa to Cote d'Ivoire. Very close country, very close to Nigeria. What happened is that they will charter a bus from Nigeria and took some lady to bring China in Nigeria. We all know that. But, the police collect bribe to let them in. So they will go to the factory and stay there. Sometimes they come out. But this, many Nigerians know, the way take those things, because we think that maybe they're not committing crime. They're just trying to look for their survivor. We let them be. We are all one. We are all one. We don't need to deal with them because we see them, without valid visa. We see them, seeking their, daily bread. But what we see in China is so, so heartbreaking. I wonder any human, any government will make such a decision in this kind of time, this corona time, when things are very difficult. You are making a decision to throw your fellow human being outside the town, where they will be exposed to coronavirus, where their life will be in danger. Africa did not bring this. It's China that brought this. Everybody knows that this disease comes from China, coronavirus. China people have been eating some idealistic things that you are not meant to eat, useless things. Yet they have the God to speak to Africans. I urge African leaders to rise up and defend your citizens. What Chinese is doing is beyond acceptable. They need to be taught a lesson. Thank you.
Today I want to speak to you Africans. It is so sad that a lot of you are not seeing the magnitude of the problem that is going on. It is so sad that we have leaders that are so self-centered, selfish, ignorant of everything in the world, apart from the money they are collecting and spending, that they are not even taking care of their citizens. How many of your presidents, how many of your MPs, how many of your leaders are not aware that as of now, Chinese nationals are maltreating and subjecting all blacks to inhuman treatments in China? How many of our leaders are not aware of that? Let's say you are not aware of that. Haven't any of your family members seen the videos online? Has no one ever shared a video with you of an African being maltreated drastically, being moved out of their homes they've paid for? Are there no laws or rules in China? What is wrong with our leaders? What is wrong with you? Is it all about money? I don't care how many trolls or idiots or myopic people you send to my page to talk rubbish, but how the hell do we end up with shithead leaders like you? Are any of you seeing what is happening to our people? Are any of you seeing exactly what is happening to blacks? In China, to be specific. In Italy, there was a video that surfaced of a black man that was complaining of how a nurse told him to die. Go die, Negro. Go die. I don't care what you want to call yourself. You can call yourself anything. You're Ghanaian, you're Nigerian, you're Rwandan, you're Ethiopian. Whatever you are black. Black Americans, you freaking black. And it's about time blacks united. How many of these white people or Chinese people do you see bully any Muslim? Have you ever seen any of these Muslim brothers being subjected to bullshit and crops like this? No, it will never happen. Because you know what happened? They are so united that if you mess with one freaking Muslim person, you're dealing with all of them. Why can't we as Africans unite? What is stopping all of you from refusing help from China and then fixing the freaking countries that we have inherited? We have gold, we have bauxite, we have oil. You people are freakingly, gullibly idiotic at ruling Africa. Exactly how many of you were not owning houses when you became MPs? Exactly how many of you did not have shit to your name when you became ministers? And yet, today you and your family members can boast of diplomatic passports. You can boast of traveling around. Today, travel anywhere and go and cure yourself of coronavirus and let's see. Why don't you travel for that? Travel to any freaking country apart from Africa while you're staying in your own country and tell them you have coronavirus, you've come to treat yourself, and see the cage that will put your black freaking ass in. Why are we Africans so gullible? They came in, stole our gold, stole our God, presented us with a God that nobody actually respects. A God that African pastors are joking with. And we naively accepted it. Today, if you swap anybody in power, anybody into parliament, anybody into a presidential office, they will still, because they are not afraid of the name of God. But take them to Novoko, take them to any shrine, they will act accordingly. I was right here in this country when a useless lawyer in Ghana called Justin Amanuvo helped a lady steal money and lied to the Norwegian government about how much she had in the country. And this guy was the general secretary of the legal council in Ghana. These are the idiots that are in power in the country. These are the fools that are running the nation. These are the people that are taking every black person into the grave with their freaking useless brains. Educated illiterate is what I call you all. Why can't you people fix Africa? What is wrong with all of you? Can't you fix Africa? Can't you complain at least? Are you that inhuman to what is being subjected to all blacks in China? Are you telling me none of these black people, black presidents, have seen any of these videos? Are you telling me that CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera, Fox, the fucking racist network, they've all not seen it? Fox Network was able to bring a woman, Nana McBrown's picture of she kissing and romancing her baby on Fox News. Motherfucking useless piece of shit station. Racist bastards. They were able to show a woman who was kissing her child, but they are not able to show how China is kicking people who have contracts of residential permits, people who have hotel contracts, how they are kicking these blacks out on the street and quarantining them by force. Who the fuck gave Chinese the right to maltreat anybody? They're doing it because they know our leaders are rubbish.
So what Chinese is doing, is beyond forgivable. They need to be taught a lesson. African leaders not to rise up and stand up for their citizens. You should not allow Chinese to take advantage of your citizens because they go there to look for a better life, or maybe they go there to buy market. Africa have a lot of Chinese immigrants in Africa. In Nigeria, I know a lot of Chinese people in Nigeria. I remember, far back, years back, when some of the Chinese people are smuggled from Benin Republic to Nigeria, from Ghana to Nigeria, because not all of them got a visa. What they do is that, if you're Chinese, you know what I'm saying, in Africa. What you guys do that, they hire maybe 4 or 5 kids, they put them in the bus, then they'll cross them border to Benin or Cotonou or Togo, whatever you call it. Then those girls will pretend that those Chinese are their boyfriend. They'll bring them back to Nigeria, So we know this. You should stop maltreating blacks. Stop exposing them to coronavirus. These people did not bring coronavirus. You shouldn't lay your angers to the place that is not meant to be. Okay? Every Chinese should caution their government. Every Chinese should protest in the street, telling these people it's not. When I'm saying this, I find out that the Chinese people are very heartless people. How can you withstand, look through your window, saw people being treated this way, and everybody is happy? I saw some people, some stupid idiot women that haven't brushed their mouth or their teeth all their life. Still, when they saw a black man in the bus, they came down from the bus. It's a black man that's supposed to come down from the bus, because most of what you guys eat is a pig. In Africa, they don't eat them. They don't even give it to dog. So those African people are people that are supposed to get out from the bus, not you idiots. It's kind of like, unacceptable to see things like that, An old idiot lady seeing an African or young, whatever it is, young and stupid. See a black person that came in the bus, you wanted to get down because he's a black skin. What makes you stinky people, Kind of very, crappy to see things like that happening in this third world country. To me, I condone racism. I have respect for every race. But when people misbehave, it so much touched me. That shows me the ignorance of people. And they need to be conscious. They need to be shouted on. They need to be put where they belong. If you respect people, people respect you. Respect is well aimed and deserved.
They are doing it because they know the blacks are not together. They came into the country and they said, let's divide and conquer. If you have a good president in Africa today, the white man will come and connively deal with the idiots behind that person and make them overthrow him. They did it to Nkrumah. They did it to Gaddafi. They did it to India and me. All the people that would stand up to their racist stupidity were eliminated by their own people because we blacks are not together. We are not united. We don't speak the same language. You call one black person and you give him $100 and he will tell you every black fucking person who's selling drugs in his building. You call one Chinese person and you give him $1 million and he will still shut the fuck up. What the fuck is wrong with us Ghanaians? What the fuck is wrong with us blacks? Honestly speaking, I won't take anybody out because all of us are contributing to the problem. If you know the truth and you help someone tell lies, you are a part of our problem. If you know the government is not working and you support it because of tribalistic, you are a part of the problem. Yes, we need good government in Africa. But most importantly, we need a united Africa. We need an Africa that nobody can penetrate. We need an Africa that will stick out their neck for each other. We need an Africa that will speak for each African. We don't just need idiots in suits that are highly educated with no goddamn brains of what the fuck they are sitting on those thrones doing. We need people that are literate, that can't speak shit but know how to put things together. We need people that care for the state, not care for their pockets and what they are about to make as government officials. We need people that would move Africa together, people that will unite us and make us a strong nation, make us a strong economy, make us strong people, not people that will come in and divide and conquer. Are any of you not seeing those videos of inhuman attitude being mounted to all the blacks in China? If you tell me you're not seeing it, you are equally an idiot. You're equally a fool. Haven't you seen any of those videos? What are we doing? We sit in Africa and we talk. CPP, NDC, CNPP, FFF. Nigerians, you people have the mouth. You have the audience to speak. Why are you quiet? South Africans, why are you? We are all Africans. Whether you like it or not, we are all in this together. All of us, every black person is being subjected to rubbish in China as I'm speaking. Africa, unite and fight. A time is coming, our children won't be able to do it because a lot of us are raising our children out here like animals without any coachings, training them like they're white because they were born abroad. You're training your children without your own dialect because they were born abroad. What the hell is wrong with Africa? The Indian man gives birth abroad and trains his child with his dialect. Chinese man does the same. Polish guy does the same. American does. French person does. Only Africans. Oh, my kids can't speak our language. Well, because they're born here. When you speak it, they respond to you back in English, in Norwegian, in French, in German. Really? You're killing your own race. You're putting those children's life in danger. You are subjecting your children to official slavery and slander for the world. If we don't teach our children something, we're going to leave bunch of weaklings that will be maltreated day in and day out.